Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I will be starting to make the cupcakes, the chunky cupcake. And I think I'm gonna start out with Lime Ricky, which is this one, that's the color. Pretty cool. And then I'll finish off with this. And I'm gonna be using the free pattern from Yarn Inspiration that they provide in, or not in, but the tag of this. And so this is what it's a little bright, sorry. Here we go. This is the hat pattern. I'm just gonna do both hats in the same pattern, and then I'll show you guys the final product. I'm gonna be using my Leica needles. These are my favorite needles. I'm missing two because I have another project on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And I'm probably gonna time lapse. At the end, I'll show you the product with both hats. And I'll tell you guys what I thought about the pattern, if there were any struggles, and how easy it was to get the pattern to match the hat. This is how it actually looks. Pretty cool, simple. It's a one size fit all. So yeah, so I'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna start out with this one. This is gonna be my test dummy because I really like these colors and I don't wanna mess it up. So here we go. Let's pop this open. Luckily this, tears pretty easy. And the little top hat thing is taped onto here. It looks like there is the pattern inside here, so you don't even have to look it up. But I just printed it out just in case, So that's pretty awesome that they have the pattern. So this is what it looks like, and I think this can pull out. I'm not sure. Maybe it doesn't pull out. Maybe I just start knitting. That's kind of unique and kind of crazy. I've never seen anything like that. So I'm gonna cast on 71 stitches and using, let's see, what size needle? I'm gonna use a US 9 needle, which is a 5.5 millimeter knitting needle to get the gauge needed for this hat. So I'm gonna get my needles ready and get started. This yarn already feels really thick in comparison to the other hats that I've made. Hence why it's bulky. This is a number 5, I believe, as in bulky yarn. Yep. So I'm not used to using such thick yarn, but this time I will be using some thick yarn to make a hat. Just means it's going to be nice and warm. Alright, now I'm going to count to see how many I have. So I know I had started the video and I was knitting the hat. Well, for one, my camera was low on battery, so I wasn't able to record too much. And then I realized that I started knitting the hat wrong, so I had to kind of restart. And I actually restarted 3 times because I kept on thinking that I was knitting the round, even though it didn't say it was flat or knitting the round. So finally I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna restart it and try knitting it flat, because the pattern didn't really say how to knit it. So I decided to restart it, and I just did the ribbing. It has you finish, so the next row starts on the wrong side. So as you can see, some of the white is already in this color, and it says it's to have it about 1.5 inches, and this is already, yeah, that's about 1.5 inches. So you're gonna get some of the next color on there. I also got the tail a lot shorter, so that helps. Yeah, I think so far the pattern says that it's an easy pattern, but I've been struggling a little bit with it because the directions weren't so clear. But after I started knitting flat like this, back and forth, the pattern actually came out kind of looking how it's supposed to look. So yeah, that's kind of my struggle. So I've done 5 rows of the repeating ribbing that it tells me, and now I'm going to start the main part of the hat. Got to grab my pattern, about to start the main part of the hat. On the wrong side, I'm going to start knitting all the way across. That's what it says, and this is supposedly the shaker rib pattern. We'll see how it turns out. Yeah, so far, I even looked at the reviews on the Caron website, and there was 2 people that had left reviews for the pattern, and both of them said that this was not an easy pattern as it states on the website. So I can agree with that so far, due to the fact that I had to restart this 3 times because it wasn't very clear in the instructions that you weren't not supposed to knit in the round. I know I've only been knitting for 30 years, but it's usually very clear whether it's knit in the round or if it's knit flat. So that was not helpful. Now it's starting to look the right way. Okay, something that I just noticed with this color change is that they tied a knot. Not very happy about that, but I'm just gonna leave it because I do not want to tie in so many ends, especially if that's how the rest of the hat is gonna be. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna work with what I got at this point. So here we go. After I do a full knit row, it's gonna be a knit 1, and then it's gonna be a knit 1 below, purl 1, knit 1 below, repeating from the purl 1 to the last stitch, and then it's going to be a knit, and then we repeat these last 2 rows for 7 inches, including the ribbing of the hat. I do know that the people that did the reviews said that they were struggling with the decreasing, so we'll see how that goes for me. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I think so far since the ribbing it's been going okay, but I also haven't got that far because I need to knit for 7 inches. So here we are. To get to the last stitch of that row, you just knit a normal stitch, and then you repeat the pattern again. So this is how it looks so far, just with those 2 rows done. Not bad. Not bad at all. So now 7 more inches. So this is what it looks like so far. Not bad. Sorry for the lighting. It's a little dark here. Don't have the best lighting for filming. And this is what's left of the skein. Got a couple more colors to go. I'm close to getting 6 inches and it calls for 7 inches. So yeah, I'll just keep knitting on and I'll probably show you guys the progress as it looks through all the changes of color. And once I finish this, I'll start the next beanie, but we're getting pretty close. 6 inches. Let's go. 1 more inch to go, and then I can start decreasing for the hat. Pretty cool. Alright, so I finally finished the 7 inches, and that includes the ribbing at the beginning. Like I said before, so I did 5 rows for the ribbing, and I continued and did 20 to get 7 inches all the way up, and that's what I got. So in total it's 25 including the ribbing. Now I'm going to start the decreases. I also forgot to mention that every time you change from the ribbing, and it seems like even to the decreases, you want to start on the wrong side. So make sure you knit all through the right side, and then so you're actually starting on the wrong side. And you'll know because of the purls usually that you have to do on the right side. There's going to be the knits on each end, and that's where you're knitting through the below the 2 stitches, so that's how you know that's the right side. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that because it took me a little bit to figure that out, just so I could get it just right how the pattern says. And yeah, that's basically it. This pattern so far has been, I want to say, more on the difficult end. I definitely would not consider this pattern an easy pattern. I don't know who created this pattern, but yeah, they were wrong. Finished the last row, so this is what it looks like. This is what it will be like. This looks pretty big. So instead of your normal cast off, you're just gonna draw the strings through each hole like you would on a normal hat, then pull it tight, and then with that remaining length of the yarn, from my understanding, you'll just sew all the way down to join the hat, which will look like that. So far, my stitches, you're supposed to end with 13 stitches. I ended up with 18. I don't know why, but I did, and I don't care. This pattern was not an easy pattern. I'll still do it with the other hat now that I have a better understanding. It's kind of big. Oh, actually, it might be perfect. We'll see. It'll be a little loose fitting, but not bad. Ahead and cut the yarn, and then I'm not gonna sew the side yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and start the other one. I'm not gonna do much talking. I'm just gonna kind of go through it, show you guys a little bit, fast forward to the end, and then sew the edges together, and then I'll add the pom-pom, and then I will talk a little bit more about this hat. So far, I do like how the hat looks. Just not a big fan of making it, but here we go. So I'm gonna start the second one now. Pretty colors. Okay, so we are starting the decreases now. The first hat, I didn't do it correctly because I didn't have the video. I ended up reaching out to Caron, and they sent a video to help me understand the pattern better. I still don't consider this an easy pattern, but here we go. So it was a knit one for the beginning, then slip one, knit two together, just like that, and then bring that slipped one over the knit two, and then it says knit three. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do it one more time so you guys can see it again. So it's slip one, knit two together, right there, knit two, bring that slip stitch over the slip two, just like that, and then knit three, 2, and 3. I'm going to keep going to the very end till there's 4 stitches, and then I'll show you guys how to do the end. Okay, so you should have 4 left. What you're going to do is you're going to slip one, knit 2, just like that, knit 2, bring the slipped one over the knit 2, and then knit 1 to finish it off. Then you're going to flip your work, okay. After you flip your work, you're going to start off with a knit, your normal knit, knit, and then you're going to knit through all 4 stitches. Make sure you grab all the stitches in here, and then you do the knit below and make sure everything is on. Everything seems to be on, and then you're going to purl. And then do that again. These ones are easier since it's just the normal knit below. Purl. Another one. Make sure you get through all. Looks about right. And you knit below. And then purl, then you do that all across, and that's basically how you do it. I will be linking the video below just in case mine isn't clear, but this definitely helped me a lot, and I'll show you guys the both versions of the hats that I did at the very end. Alrighty. Alright guys, so I finally finished the second hat. This is what it looks like before I sewed up. I really like these colors, from the transition of the darker colors into the lighter colors. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it up, and then I'll bring both hats together and I'll talk to you guys about the pattern and what my thoughts were. So let's get to it. What it's going to start to look like when I seal that together. Now I'm going to go ahead and seam this up. I will just fast forward through this, but I'll leave some different types of videos below so you guys can look at and see how to merge two sides together. What the hat looks like. I think it's really pretty, beautiful. I love this one. I also like this one too. Not bad. And then this is how it looks like with it on. Looks a little big, almost feels a little big, but it's like perfect. I also have a bigger head, so it kind of works out better. Now, talking about this pattern for these cakes, or before I get into that, actually, this is what was left of this cake. This is probably like if you didn't have a pom-pom or you didn't want to put this pom-pom in, you could add this other color and make a pom-pom out of it, which is pretty cool that they did that. So I'm just gonna roll this back up and keep this as a spare yarn for potentially another project or a scrap yarn project. All right, so let's talk about this pattern. So this pattern is still not easy. Though it says it's easy, I wouldn't necessarily call this beginner friendly, due to the fact that even I was confused with it, and I've been knitting for 3 years, and I don't consider myself an expert knitter. You know, I do pick things up pretty easily, but this was more on the medium to harder side. I did leave a review, and Caron reached out to me, and they sent me a video, and the lady that replied to me actually, I believe, was the one who created the pattern. She still in the email told me that it was an easy pattern, which I think is a little bit ridiculous, because they should be taking feedback, and there's other reviews on that pattern that says it's not an easy pattern. So I will also be linking that YouTube video below that will talk about the main body and how to do that, and then it'll talk about up here. So that actually helped me a lot, because there was a step that I was misunderstanding, and that's why this one came out with a bit extra stitches up top, but I think it worked out perfect anyways. But they still don't look like the pictures in the on the pattern. Still doesn't look like the picture on the pattern. Mine look a little bit more kind of like wide, and hers looks a little bit more like round and poofy. I don't know why that's the case, but I followed the pattern how it was supposed to be. Would I recommend these to others? I think yes, I would recommend these cakes to others just to try them out. I don't know how much I would recommend this pattern, but if you guys do want to, that's kind of why I made this video, so I could figure out all the, you know, little issues with it, and then you guys could just have it a little bit easier. I did enjoy making these hats. It was pretty fun. It was quick. These would be awesome gifts to give away to family and friends. Yeah, I mean, that's basically my thoughts. I do think that there are easier patterns out there for hats that would probably work just great with the Caron hat. So yeah, that's kind of like my take. I hope you guys liked my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, it does take balls to knit. Have a good one.